Cinderella had always dreamed of a peaceful life filled with love, and after her magical wedding, she hoped everything would finally be simple. But life inside the palace was very different from the quiet cottage she grew up in, and every day brought new lessons she never expected. She would wake up early to attend royal meetings, practice diplomacy, and learn the languages of neighboring kingdoms. Even though she was now a princess, she still carried the heart of the gentle girl who spoke to mice and birds. That kindness, however, made her stand out in a palace full of rules, responsibilities, and expectations. One morning, Cinderella received a letter inviting her to represent the kingdom at a grand harvest celebration, a tradition led by queens for centuries. She felt nervous because she had never spoken in front of hundreds of people before, and she feared making a mistake. But Prince Charming encouraged her warmly, reminding her that her sincerity was her greatest strength. His words made her smile and gave her the courage she needed to believe in herself again. She decided that this would be her chance to show the kingdom a new kind of leadership, one built on kindness rather than perfection. In preparation for the celebration, Cinderella visited the royal gardens to find inspiration for her speech. She walked past fountains, blooming roses, and fluttering butterflies, remembering the lessons she learned from nature as a child. She realized that every flower grew at its own pace, and she didn't need to compare herself to queens from the past. What mattered was staying true to the person she had always been, even in a royal gown. That simple thought filled her with calm confidence. When the day of the celebration arrived, the palace courtyard buzzed with excitement and colorful banners waving in the wind. Musicians played cheerful melodies while children danced around, wearing flower crowns made just for the occasion. Cinderella stepped onto the stage, feeling the warmth of the crowd and the gentle breeze that carried the scent of autumn leaves. Her heart pounded, but she remembered Charming's words and took a deep breath. She looked at the smiling faces and began her speech with a voice steady and kind. Cinderella spoke about unity, gratitude, and the beauty of helping others, sharing small stories from her life before the palace. She told them how a single act of kindness from a fairy godmother had changed her world forever. She reminded everyone that even the smallest good deed could brighten someone's darkest day. Her words touched the hearts of the villagers and nobles alike. When she finished, the applause echoed across the courtyard like rolling thunder. After the ceremony, many people approached Cinderella to thank her for her heartfelt message. Children hugged her, telling her she inspired them to be brave and kind. Elders bowed with respect, saying the kingdom hadn't heard such sincerity in years. Cinderella felt her eyes grow warm with happy tears because she realized she finally belonged. She had not only spoken as a princess, she had spoken as herself. That evening, the palace hosted a joyful celebration with music, dancing, and delicious feasts from every region. Cinderella wandered through the crowd, greeting families and listening to their stories with genuine interest. She learned about their farms, trades, and traditions, discovering how diverse and beautiful her kingdom truly was. When she danced with Charming under the lantern-lit sky, she felt more connected to her people than ever before. It was a night she knew she would remember forever. Later, Cinderella returned to her room where a gentle glow shimmered by the window. To her surprise, her fairy godmother appeared, smiling warmly and radiating calm magic. She praised Cinderella for her courage, kindness, and growth, explaining that true royalty came not from crowns, but from the heart. Cinderella felt humbled and thanked her fairy godmother for believing in her even before anyone else did. The fairy godmother touched Cinderella's hands and promised to guide her whenever she felt uncertain. The next morning, Cinderella woke to a kingdom filled with excitement and renewed hope. Her speech had inspired people to help one another, and acts of kindness spread throughout the land like ripples in a pond. Farmers shared extra produce with neighbors, and children helped the elderly carry baskets in the market. Even in the palace, servants felt more appreciated and worked with lighter hearts. Cinderella realized that kindness had the power to change not only people's lives, but the entire kingdom. As the sun set that evening, Cinderella stood on the balcony beside Charming, watching lanterns float into the sky. She felt proud not because she was a princess, but because she had stayed true to who she was. Charming took her hand and told her that the kingdom adored her just as much as he did. Cinderella leaned her head on his shoulder, feeling peaceful and loved. She knew that every day ahead would bring new challenges, but she was ready for all of them. With the soft breeze brushing past her and the stars beginning to twinkle, Cinderella made a quiet promise to herself. She vowed to lead with compassion, listen with patience, and always shine light wherever she could. Her journey had not ended at the ball, it had only just begun. She felt stronger, wiser, and more confident than ever before. And as the night sky sparkled above the castle, Cinderella smiled, knowing she was exactly where she was meant to be.